Everyone, it's Zach from Apps Delivered, and I'm excited to present another weekly hierarchy showcase in Smart Issue Templates for Jira Cloud. So what we're going to be doing today is creating a process, a sprint review process in Jira Cloud, utilizing our app Smart Issue Templates for Jira. We're going to use the hierarchy feature for this, and for those of you who don't know what a hierarchy is basically a set of related issues, be it epics, stories, tasks, or subtasks that form a related process. You can then apply this hierarchy with one click across multiple different projects, create issues across multiple different projects, and assign these issues to multiple different user personas. Now, this sprint review process, you're going to be able to find this hierarchy by clicking our Set Pre-Installed button up here, dropping down the menu, and it'll soon be in here. We're also working on changing it to be called the hierarchy gallery. So you'll be able to find that sprint review process in here very soon. And then also, if you go to import hierarchy, if you go to our documentation that outlines this sprint review process creation with Smart Issue Templates, you're also going to be able to download a file and then import that file with this button, map your fields, and you can also access the hierarchy that way. So I'm excited to get right into it. Let's do this. All right, so now I'm inside this sprint review process hierarchy. I'm going to expand that. As you can see, we have a bunch of different issues that are created every time this hierarchy is applied. I'll get a little bit more into these, so I'm going to click Edit. As you can see, we've tagged it with the development tag. You can also add a description of the hierarchy, and we've named it Sprint Review Process. There's going to be 4 different variables associated with the sprint review process. And specifically, these are going to be our user variables. So user variables basically allow you to quickly assign these users to these issues when they are created. Instead of having to go into each one of these and assign it individually, you can just use a variable and it'll reference back to that user up here. So if I want to make the product owner somebody else, I would just change it easily, and it's as simple as that. So who's actually interacting with the sprint review process that we've created with Smart Issue Templates for Jira Cloud? Well, we have a product owner, a tester, a scrum master, and a developer, some pretty basic personas that would be interacting with a sprint review process. So I'll show you a little bit of the issues that get created. So every time someone clicks apply, every single one of these issues is created in our development board. We're just calling that Smart Issue Templates for Jira Cloud board. You can change whichever project you want to use here. You can also change the issue type fairly easily as well. So all of these issues are being created in our development board. So we have preparation for sprint review with a bunch of subtasks. We have review of sprint work, sprint feedback gathering, planning for next sprint, sprint retrospective, sprint review, communications. And you can see our different assignees. Okay, so we have Scrum Master. So that's going to reference back to Denise here. We have Product Owner. That's going to reference back to Anna. So on and so on for the subtasks with testers and developers assigned to them. So if I click into one of these issues that gets created when we apply this hierarchy, we have our summary. Okay, and we have that variable today. So it's going to say the date when you apply that, it's going to have that right there. So we use the today variable, and also has a description template. So ensures everything is in place for a smooth sprint review meeting. This includes scheduling the meeting, confirming attendance, ensuring all sprint work is ready to be presented. So that's the preparation for a sprint review with the description, and that's assigned to the Scrum Master. Now, if I wanted to templatize this and make the priority high, I would just click high. And you can also templatize some of these fields down here. If you're interested in that, you can select the checklist. If I want to segment this issue down even further, you can use checklist, another feature of Smart Issue Templates for Jira Cloud, to go even further down with actionable steps for these issues. And they're kind of like subtasks, but they're not going to populate your boards and your projects the same as subtasks would. So that's another cool feature to check out. So we've gone through kind of what the issues being created, right? Preparation for sprint review, review of sprint work, etc. We have our assignees. You can see how we can kind of reference these variables. We have our issue types. So this very large process with all these different issues, I can just apply and create all these issues and assign them to all these users with one click. So that's the benefit of hierarchies and smart issue templates for Jira Cloud. And if I go down here, I could have generated all of this with AI if I wanted. I just say, create me a weekly sprint review process, and I'd be able to generate all of these issues with AI if that's a route I wanted to go. Although it's not the most accurate every time, and it's not always what you want it to be, it's still a good way to get started. And if I want to add a new node, I would just click add node, basically another word for an issue or parent issue. I could select the project, I could select the issue type, and then I could click this plus button to add a child node. I would click update hierarchy if I wanted to save these changes. So I think that's all I want to show in this edit hierarchy screen. Now I'm going to show you how it looks like to apply this hierarchy, how it looks like to view the application history, basically track all these issues across this project, and then how it is to set some enterprise permissions, and then we will close out. All right, so we are back in our hierarchy overview screen here, and I'm going to apply this sprint review process in our development board. So I'm going to click apply. As you can see, we have our 4 user variables we spoke of previously. You can also change these from this screen. So I'm going to say Riley for the product owner. And I think that'll be good. So I'm going to click confirm, and now we can create these issues in the development project and assign them to these 4 users. All right, so as you can see, these issues are being created. They have all been successfully created in that development project. I'm going to click close, and then I'm going to click refresh. All right, so now we have gone ahead and applied the sprint review process. I'm going to click view applied history, and we can kind of see what happened. Okay, so if I drop some of these down, as you can see, all of our issues have been created in the development board. It says the last activity, so obviously it's going to be right now because they were just created. You can see all of them here, the names of all of them. You have the status of them, and then you can also click directly into the issue. Now, as I start moving these across the board, whether it be to do, in progress, done, these bars are going to start filling out, so I can track all of these issues pretty easily from this view. And if I were creating these issues across multiple different projects, this would be even more helpful, so I don't have to click into these different projects to see the status of these issues. You can check some of our past videos to see how we can use smart issue templates for Jira Cloud hierarchies to create issues across multiple different projects with one click. So I think that's most of what I want to cover here in the applied history. Obviously, you can choose your date range. As you start applying them more, it's going to populate on the left. You can duplicate this hierarchy from the screen as well. You can add a scheduler. So I could go ahead and add this weekly. I would just click weekly. You choose your time zone, choose the time you want it to apply, name it. And you could also add a scheduler. So every single Monday, a lot of people like to do sprint reviews. These issues will get created and they'll have to be completed. We have that. If you want to share this, you can click copy link. You could share that to somebody else who has smart issue templates for Jira Cloud. You can export it and then download it into another cloud instance. You can add it to a folder as well. And then obviously we have the close button. Now I'm going to show you how we can set some enterprise level permissions for this hierarchy on who can view it, who can edit it, and who can interact with it. So I'll be right back. All right, so now we are back in the Manage Hierarchy screen. As you can see, we have our sprint review process, and I'm going to set some permissions on it. So I'm going to click Share this hierarchy with someone button here. All right, and I'm going to add a user. So let's do Anna K. We're going to say she can only edit. Well, we'll say she can only view the hierarchy, and we'll add someone else. We'll do Denise here. We're going to say he can edit, apply, and view. And then all I have to do is click the save button. And there you have it. We've just set some permissions on our sprint review process as to who can interact with it. And it's important to note that your global Jira permissions are going to override the sprint review process, as well as the Jira administrator permissions for smart issue templates for Jira Cloud. So just make sure that those permissions are actually more or less strict, however you want it to be, so they don't override the permissions that you've set right here. That's a very important thing to note. But thank you very much for joining me again for this weekly hierarchy showcase. It was a pleasure to show you our sprint review process that we made in Smart Issue Templates for Jira Cloud. If you want to try Smart Issue Templates for Jira Cloud, you can just click the link in the description and you'll have a 30-day free trial. My name is Zach from Apps Delivered, and I'll see you in the next one.